The Realm of the Mad God Exalt tutorial does not tell you enough. It covers the base mechanics of the game and how to play, but it does not cover crucial mechanics which are insanely helpful for playing the game. My job is to tell you exactly what those additional tips are and to help you improve during your beginner experience. This is the outline of the guide that we will be doing today, starting with setup tips, important resources, and then ending with gameplay tips. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, getting straight into the setup tips, with the first tip being transparency. This is the state that the game comes in. If you go to options, you go to gameplay, it comes with 100% opacity. If you want an idea of what that looks like, it looks a little bit of something like this. How are you supposed to see the Killer Bee Queen's shots? You can't see her shots, much less your own. You're never going to make it through. This is a bullet hell. You need to only see your shots and the shots of the boss, which is why my recommendation is to go to the settings, drag the opacity all the way down to 10%. You can toy with it and do what you prefer, but this is just, again, my recommendation. I would toggle every single one of these to on. And along with that, make sure to go to video settings and scroll down to where you will see ally shoot. Make sure it's set as hide all rather than show all. This makes it so much more playable. It looks a lot more like this as opposed to this. This is a crucial change that absolutely needs to be done before you do anything else. All right, tip number 2 is about bots and in-game chat. The unfortunate part about this being an MMORPG is that with literally any server I go to, EU East could be an example, there's going to be bots that are trying to advertise you real world trading of money and stuff for items in the game. This is something that has not been fixed for a long time. You'll see it right here. This is a bot trying to advertise. You can ignore them by pressing your contextual interaction key, clicking on it and pressing ignore. Same thing by doing that in chat. By the way, your contextual interaction key is control, which can be changed in the settings. This doesn't work all the time. In fact, it mostly only works for individual bots. There's another setting that used to work where if you go to gameplay and go to social, star requirement being 10, that is something that used to work. But the unfortunate part is that these bots have adapted. If I lock this bot, you'll notice that they are a 10 star, which means that they do bypass that if you don't ignore them. I do not know if DECA is ever going to fix this. This is something that has been in game for a long time, but every single server seems to have this. But I just want to expose you guys to the concept of ignoring these bots. Definitely make sure you're ignoring them so they don't become too annoying. Hopefully they can fix this at some point, but until they do, now you know. There are other in-game settings that will work for this. If you go down to the social tab once again, there are options that allow you to completely hide the chat. Player chat can be completely limited, whisper chat can be completely limited, trade requests as well. This is up to you. You can toy with these at your discretion, but this can also help you avoid bots. All right, the third tip for setup, which is also the last of this section, is your controls and keybinds. There are a lot of settings here. I know this is overwhelming. Definitely take a look at it on your own time so that you can improve your quality of life. But for now, focus on the controls tab. I'm going to expose you guys to the importance of the rotation keys, the camera rotation keys, toggle centering a player, auto fire, and a couple others. So I'm going to throw on screen right now a clip of me rushing an undead lair with this warrior. This is a great example of me utilizing the toggle centering a player and also the camera rotation to make the rush very easy. It allows me to navigate better. It allows me to see the traps and the enemies so that I can dodge them properly. And it also allows me to set the rotation of the camera to a comfortable angle when I eventually get to the boss. Definitely get used to these keys so that you can better improve your way of playing this game. You can change the keybinds to anything you want. For example, the default keybind for toggle centering a player is X, but I have it as Shift. So it's completely up to you, but configure it how you would like. The next thing I want to expose you guys' attention to is zoom. There are a lot of different zooms in this game. This is as far as it goes in, and then this is as far as it goes out. I personally like this right here, but definitely do one that's most comfortable for you. This becomes very important later because in dungeons like Moonlight Village and Shatters, in certain very difficult phases, you need to be able to see closer to your character to dodge well. But obviously that is endgame, but that is just being mentioned to show you guys how important this definitely is. So get used to the zoom now so that way you're much better off in the future. Other important keys are I for auto fire and a couple other ones which are visible in the settings. The most important one being R. If you're about to die, press R so that you can escape back to the Nexus. And yeah, aside from that, make sure you check out all the other settings and change your keybinds to what you need. And when you're done with that, you should be good to go. All right, guys, we are officially on to the resources part of this guide. The first point for the resources is actually journal. I know I was just saying that the tutorial does not tell you enough. I still think that's true. However, this is one of the best resources in the game. All because it doesn't tell you enough doesn't mean it's not useful. This journal has a lot of tips that gives you information on all the different parts of the game, from the realm to dungeon diving, UT items, marks, everything is here. I'm not going to go through all of it in this video. You can read it on your own time, but this is a genuinely useful guide. Again, I still don't think it tells you everything, but I think it is a very good place to start if you have nowhere else to go. Alright everyone, the next resource, which I believe is absolutely necessary, is the Realmeye. This is by far the best resource that I think every single player in this game should be using. I'm not going to go through everything in this video that is on this website because some of it is self-explanatory, but I will show you guys what I believe to be the most important resources on this site. So the first thing that I'm going to show you guys is my Realmeye page, because every single person on Realmeye has a profile. It can be privated, but for most people you will see that they do have a profile. I have characters, skins, exaltations, fame, rank, account fame, and much more. There's a lot on here, as you will see, but not all of it is as important as some other things, so I'm going to direct you guys to one thing, which is offers, as you can see right here. This is an amazing, inventive way to trade with other players in this game. I'm going to give you guys an example offer right now, and this is something you will see all the time if you use this site. So let's say I want to sell a T6 seal. I will go to the buttons I just did. As you can see, every single tradable item is in this game. I go to the T6 seal, as you can see in the recording on screen. I click on it, then I go to buying, and I will see many items I could ask for. I'm going to ask for some G-Life. Let's say, I'm pretty sure I put 3 here. Yeah, I did. So there you go, and if you reload the page, you will see it's officially an active offer. If you go to the actual trading page though, which you go to current offers, trading current offers, and you scroll down to the T6 seal section, you click on the red number, and that is the amount of offers for trying to sell it. And you will see my name is right there, Fox's Rock. 1 minute ago, I just put up that offer. So that's how it works. You can put up any offer like that. Everyone in game will see that you did indeed put up that offer. And if I want to remove it, just press X and then press save changes, and there you go. It's as easy as that. This is an amazing resource. Aside from that, another resource which I think is important is oh wow, 1800 grades. Whoa, I wonder who that is. Okay, anyways, the next thing that I'm going to show you guys is actually very important, and again, I think everyone can benefit from this. And as you can see, I'm clicking through the other options that are usable. Again, look at it on your own time. I think it's very important. So anyways, the next thing is those 2 options at the top, Wiki and Forum. I'm going to show Forum first. This is a way that all players in game can discuss different ways that they want to talk about this game. You'll see news and information. There's a lot of info and updates there, game discussion, and a bunch of other things that you should click through if you have some questions or if you want to look at what people have said. The other resource though is Wiki. This is by far the best resource, and it should be used. Everything is on here, from the white bags to items to dungeons to characters, classes, everything is on here. As an example, I believe I type in right here Lair Draconis, just to give you guys an example of what a page would look like. So let's click on it right here, and you will see Lair Draconis. Everything is here, from the dust that the dungeon drops to what the dungeon difficulty is, what the Realmeye says, what the layout is. Everything is here. Look how much there is here, huh? And those are all the items that drop, the SD sets, the white bags, everything, and the quests, the daily quests. Everything is here, and it's a great resource. Definitely, like, search up, try it out, something that you want to know about in this game. Put it on there, and it will show some interesting information. So yeah, that's the Realmeye. I think it is absolutely important. Definitely take a look at it on your own time, and let me know if you have any questions on it. Hope this was beneficial to you guys. Alright, this next one is a quick one. Very nice one. This is the RotMG skin viewer on highzor.net. This is a GitHub link. It's very, very useful. You get to see every single skin in the game. You can move around and do different dyes for them to see what it looks like. I love this resource. I've been using it the entire time I've been playing Realm. You can test out absolutely every single skin of the game. It allows you a chance to only test out cloths, only test out dyes. You can do everything. It's very useful. I highly recommend you guys using this on your own time. It is a godsend for choosing skins. And then the last one for these types of resources is a DPS calculator. This is a really good way to test which weapons are better than others. Let's just go ahead and do Necromancer, for example, and let's say that we're trying to compare a T12 staff, which would be Cosmic Hull, versus another staff. Let's go to it and say we're trying to compare, let's say Superior. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a color here, so that way it's easy to see which color is which. So red for Cosmic and purple for Superior. It will show you on this graph at different levels of depth which staff performs better. So Superior at 10 depth is much better than the Cosmic Hull. And we could even do, just to make it more of a closer comparison, T14 staff. And it will show you, okay, so it looks like Superior will beat the T14 staff at all depth levels 45 or below. But T14 will beat it on everything that is 50 and above. So this is a very easy way to tell, and it shows it very organized. And you can do this for absolutely any class. Let's say I was going to do this instead. I'll do a paladin, and let's say that it's going to be a T14 sword versus a demon blade, which is right here. And again, we can compare those colors. We can make this one red because it's a demon blade, and then we can make this one, we'll make it a white. So you can see very clearly that demon blade again beats the T14 sword at every defense that is 70 and below. But for every defense that is 80 and above, it's actually the Sword of Majesty that beats it. So this is a very nice way to just compare items in this game. I definitely would give it a gander if you think it would be useful to you. Alright guys, so last part of the resources area of this guide that I recommend is definitely watching RotMG streamers and YouTubers. This is a great way for you to just see how do others play the game. Are there any tips that they have? How do they manage PPEs? What do they do in dungeons? And it's just a great way to learn from others. A lot of YouTubers specifically have guides just like I do. Sometimes they have entertaining content like HPEs. Like for example, this character that I'm playing on is an HPE, meaning I can't Nexus, I cannot use key pops, and I cannot use a pet. There's a lot of entertaining content just like that. I would also argue that even content from old Realm is a good reference for you guys, because it's a good way to see the history of the game. What was this game like prior to you playing it? So that way you can appreciate some of the more recent changes that have been implemented, especially like this realm, for example. This realm where you work, like the realm used to be so much different. So you get the idea. I would definitely reference any and every YouTuber that you can, and same with streamers. There are a lot of YouTubers that I would recommend, not just myself, same with streamers. Just have a look at Twitch, have a look on YouTube, and see if you can't find some entertaining content. Alright everybody, we're moving on to the next part of this guide, which is just general tips that I have about this game that I think have not been mentioned in the guide that are very important. The first of which is the existence of trading and key popping servers. As you can see right here, this is a great example. We have two servers. You have US East and then you have US East 2. As you can see, they are crowded and full. And typically you would need to join them via a queue. Unfortunately, you can only join the queue if it says crowded, not when it's full, which I think is very counterintuitive. I really hope they change that. But anyways, if you can end up getting in without a queue, which I did luckily manage to do on this occasion, you will see a flurry of people. Look at how many people are here right now. This is people like saying, oh wow, I am selling these things. And then you have people popping keys just like this person did. This is a great place for you guys to be if you just need to do some trading without using Realmeye, or if you want to do some dungeons without having to go into the realm. This is something that many players rely on. And not everyone knows that these servers exist, at least when they start playing. So again, definitely take advantage of these servers. People pop like crazy, and typically if there are any events, as you can see these events right here, people have been popping these dungeons all the time in the Nexus. Like for example, this Nexus popped, and that is one of the events. So yeah, highly recommend you guys taking advantage of these servers. My next tip for general tips is it is not stressed in this game how important character slots and vault space truly is. If you look, I have like so many characters, but when you start an account, you do not get that much. I also have like a ton of vault space, 352, but again, you do not get that much when you start. You absolutely need to get character slots and vault slots, whether that means that you're grinding the events that are in this game, or if that means you are going for the fame packs that are available to beginner players. I will put on screen a picture of what the beginner packs are. You would find them in the shop right here, and that would be your way of getting some character slots and vault space through fame, which you get from dying. That is one of the main things that they did change that is very nice. That way it's not as beginner hostile, and that is one of the ways that this game can be pay to win, because as you can see, if we go to utility and we scroll all the way down, you'll see there's vault bundle packs, there's character slots packs, and you can get like a lot of it just by spending realm gold and IRL money. Obviously not everyone wants to do that. There's another way, obviously, but it does require you to, at least to maximize it, to get the Exalted Pass. But you might get lucky, and on some of the campaigns, like this one, for example, I can get a vault slot for free. So it does depend on where you're trying to get a character slot or a vault slot, but you definitely, without a doubt, need to get them, because if you don't, you're only going to be playing on one character. Like, let's say like this is the only character I have. Just for me to switch to another character, I would have to kill off this character just to start again. And if I got like an entire inventory of stuff, I would not be able to like put the items that I received into my vault. I would have to inevitably drop items. So prioritize getting vault slots and character slots, so that way you're not stuck in a corner of the entire game. Alright guys, the next tip is about pets. This is a huge topic that I plan on hopefully discussing in future videos and more in depth, but I want to give you guys just an idea that pets are a very important part of this game in terms of survival. It is very difficult to get a pet that is like max, like this one for example. It takes a lot of time, but I just want to steer you guys in the right direction when you start. It is not explained to you how to get the best possible pets. The ideal goal, which most people go for, is heal, magic heal, electric. That is the ideal order that people would go for. That's not always possible, but that's what you should shoot for, and you get that most commonly through humanoid eggs. So that's something you should be trying to get or purchasing that from other people. And then another thing, like obviously you would have to feed your pets and give them the food they need so that you can level them up. But it is not argued in this game how important it is to like fuse and feed at the right time. If I was to fuse this elf right now, I'll show you guys, with one of my other pets and I did it incorrectly, I would be forever wasting all of my progress on that. For one reason. Like for example, this is my elf, heal, savage, electric. I was not able to get the ideal, but again, this is just for an example. If I was to fuse it with this electric and attack mid, it's not fully max. Notice it does say max fusion, which isn't close to incorrect, but notice how those last 5 levels are not fully maxed. If I was to fuse this right now, I would be losing out on maximum levels. Like for example, my divine pet, I have 100 and 100, and the only way to get that 100 maximum level is if before you fuse, all of your pets are maxed, completely maxed. Do not waste your time, do not waste your gold or your fame by doing it before that. Have patience, because in the long run, you will not have to use as much fame, as much gold, just to fuse your pets. So that's an essential tip I wanted to get out there. Again, I will cover this hopefully in future videos. If you do want that, let me know down in the comments. If you would like an in-depth guide on how to do pets, let me know. But otherwise, that is the crucial tip I wanted to tell you guys. Alright everybody, the next one is going to be quick, but I think will be very useful even for some advanced players. We are going to be covering quality of life controls. So the first, which is very important, is regarding your hotkeys right here and the potions that are in them. It does not matter which is in each slot. Typically people will do a health potion in the first and then MP in the second, unless you want to do like healing eye course and spider den here and then health potions here. Everyone's different. Either way though, F is assigned to this quick slot and V is assigned to this quick slot. So for example, let's say that I wanted to use an MP pot in this slot. If I press space and then press F, it would heal, and then same would be if I switched it to B and then I press V, it would heal. So that's a great way to use those. The next is I wanted to tell you guys about how to very quickly drop. Like let's say that you wanted to get healing eye cores that are in a spider den and you wanted to get rid of your MP pot so that you have space for it. Rather than having to drop them like together and then spam drop them over and over again, you can actually do it all at once by holding control and then dropping just one, and it'll drop all of them for you. So definitely use that if you're trying to like quickly switch what is in that consumable slot. The next thing is if you have a backpack and or a backpack extender, all I need to do is press B to switch between them. As you can see, I'm not clicking on it and I'm switching just by pressing B. It's very useful. Block that bot. What the heck? I'm trying to record. But you get the idea. This can help you if you're trying to quickly switch between different stabs. As you can see, I just did without having to use my mouse. Alrighty, and then the last one that I want to tell you guys about is regarding the in-game chat. Let's say I wanted to say the message hi, and then I actually had a previous take. Let's say I'm like selling G cookie for G Life at Fox's Rock. And I'm in a trading server saying that, but I don't want to have to switch servers. All I have to do is press the up arrow on my keyboard. Another bot, jeez. But all I have to do is press the up arrow on my keyboard, and then it will automatically send. That is very easy, very simple, and that's a very nice way to just like constantly chat without having to worry about it being retyped by yourself. And yeah, I believe that's basically everything. If I missed something, please let me know in the comments below, so that way everybody can benefit from it. But those are just the most important ones. I hope that helps. Alright everyone, the next tip that I'm going to get into is a way that you can communicate with other players and find people who are also wanting to do the same thing as you. It's called the party system. If you go to the bottom left and click on the heart icon, it's going to show you a party finder. It should show you a large list of servers and of also parties of people that are trying to do things. Like for example, Belladonna's like farming. I don't know what's called Belladonna's, we get the point. Like this West 2, and there's some other ones on here. There's also some Discord rains that use this, but I would definitely encourage you to use this and maybe join one and then talk with some people. There are many pages on here that show many different parties with goofy names, like for example, Suffer With Me, that's a goofy one, that you can work with. The friend system is a nice way that you can also communicate with the players that you have chatted with. And then like if you go here, it shows your status on playing now. You can change it to many different options. Like I'm interested in running low level dungeons, or you could say I'm interested in obtaining fame and XP. There's many different options you have, and it also shows the different members with their statuses on the server that you're in, which is nice. And then I would highly encourage you to find a guild, because guilds are very, very useful in terms of just having a group of people that you can play this game with. I'm in Melancholt. Melancholt is the best. I absolutely love Melancholt. That's my version of a guild. Definitely, I would encourage you to either find one, or hey, maybe you should start one. It's a great way to enjoy this game. But definitely take advantage of these social aspects so that you do not have to play this game alone. Realm of the Mad God, in my experience, is always 99% of the time more fun with others. So definitely take that point to heart and use these systems. Alright guys, and then this is the last point of the general tips, and this point is actually so upsetting to me that it is the reason I created this video, okay? I'm going to talk to you guys about Realm Gold usage, okay? This is such a finicky concept because it is way too easy to spend money on this game. If we click on Buy Realm Gold, you're going to see there are many options that you can do to spend money. They are not very good depending on if you're broke or not. Like for example, in order to get enough for like the value packs and the character slots and the vault slots, you have to spend $20. So it really depends on what you're going for. But I want to make sure I have a talk about what you're spending your gold on. Okay, first I'm going to talk about what I recommend as the best. I think that you should be investing in permanence. So skins is a great example. Not the boxes where it gives you percentage of skins or stones where you have to collect stones. You should be buying permanent skins that you want to use. Like if I want this ethereal princess archer, I can just directly buy it and then it's put in my storage. I don't have to gamble. And there's some other options that are useful. If you go to utility, as I was talking about before, vaults and character slots are absolutely essential. You need to have as many as you are able to get. So this is a god tier purchase with your gold. And unfortunately, so is seasonal vaults, which will also become regular vaults after the season, which is mentioned in those rules. The other thing that I highly recommend is if you go to your vault and you go to your other parts of storage, potion rack, you need a fully maxed potion rack, because if you do, you are able to press max to max your stats. I'm not fully maxed on this character, but if I had decks in the slot, I currently don't, but if I did, I just press max and then instantly max my characters, which can help me create backups. It's very useful. You also could spend gold on upgrading your materials and increasing the amount of mark storage you have, and others like that, like increasing the cap, the amount of dust, enchantment dust you can have. Those are all great options. And then the last one being a pet. I think you should be spending gold on permanent things. The next best thing, which is kind of iffy but still not the best, is keys. You can buy Bella keys, Davy keys, basically any key, and if I go to the shop, you can see that obviously there are so many keys in the game and they are all here. Sometimes they're discounted, sometimes they're not, but either way, this is one of the iffy but still decent things you can spend your gold on. However, the thing that I tell you guys, do not waste your gold on these things, is everything at the bottom of the Nexus. Mostly the right side, but everything at the bottom of the Nexus. So things like Lucky Clovers, you can get these for free by completing the quest in the Tinkerer. This is not worth getting. Loot drop potions, you can also get these for the Tinkerer if you complete the T-Cave quest. Some of these might be useful, like if you're desperate for a backpack, but a lot of these things you can just get through value packs anyway. Like if we go to get buffs, like you are guaranteed 2 clovers for 149, so like what would be the point in buying 2 for 200 when you're very likely to just get 2 there? So I do not recommend this, but the part that is the most disgusting is this section. This is the worst section in the game. Do not waste more than $5 in an expert ring. Do not waste almost $10 in an expert weapon. Look, when you get good at this game, you will be getting these like candy. Not only that, but you can buy these in-game. Why would you spend gold on getting these? It's a complete waste, especially like these, like intermediate rings, intermediate ability. If you got an entire set, that's 400 plus 250 plus 199 plus 449, which is more than $10 on a set that you're probably going to die with. That is not permanent. And I know that's blunt, but that's the reality of this game. Like if you die with something, you're losing it forever. And if you just spent $20 of money that you earned by asking your parents or by earning it through a job, and you just immediately lose it through this, it will be very not worth it. Which is why, again, put your gold towards things that are permanent. Do not put it towards things that are not permanent. One last note, by the way, that if you are going to choose to buy keys, you cannot use them unless you have a star rank of 10 or more, as it shows right there. Oh wow, that just appeared on me. You can still see it. So I would not buy it until you're 10 stars if you do choose to do that. So That's it. I just wanted to talk about the gold tips. Make sure you're spending your gold on the right things, guys. Please. Oh, and I'm forgetting. The mystery boxes it's quite literally gambling. There's no other way to put it. If I wanted to get this exalted box and I want a chance at this legendary loot of an exalted mystery skin, exalted mystery pet skin, and a ton of keys, I can go for it as much as I can, but like I'm almost guaranteed to get mostly at the bottom, if not always, this bottom reward. I would strongly against you. I would not recommend doing the mystery boxes. Only invest in permanence and only put your goal towards something that you are knowing for certain that you are getting that thing. Don't put your goal towards something that's like, oh, I might get this, because then you're likely not to. I hope you guys get the point. Spend your gold right. Thank you guys so much for watching. That just about wraps it up in terms of the tips for this video. Definitely like and subscribe if you learned something. You are obligated to subscribe if you learned something. I have jam-packed this video with tips, and I definitely hope it was helpful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.